Okay, so let's read question 2. Rob can type 156 words in 30 seconds. So right there, what is my first rate? How should I write it, Holden?
156 words.
Good, 156 words. Include the label. Over what?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. How hard was that? Not very. Now, create a proportion. So right away, you know that you're just going to put an equivalent to another rate. That's all a proportion is where you take one rate and find an equivalent rate. Now, usually what's going to happen is they're going to give you another piece of information. Do they do that?
In 40.
To find how many words can be typed in 40 what? 48 what?
Seconds.
Seconds. So would my 48 seconds go on top or bottom? Bottom, because my seconds are already on bottom. Again, focusing on labels. Thank you. You read my mind. Now, 2 strategies we already talked about. We could use mental math. So can I get from 30 to 48 easily?
Yes.
30 times what equals 48? Can I do that?
No.
Now, if this was 60, could I? Yeah, 30 times what is 60? 2. That'd be easy. So I would take this times 2 and I get my answer. But you can't really do that here, can you? So what strategy comes into play? Maddie?
You have to cross multiply and then divide.
Cross multiply, divide. Good. So 156 times 48. And what did I tell you you could use from here on out? Calculators. For this exact reason. I think you should be able to do 48 times 156 already. I'm not saying you have to practice it anymore. So use a calculator. But this is the work that I must see for every single problem you solve in Unit 6. You have to create a proportion. Whether you're finding percents of numbers, whether you're doing problems like this, whether you're changing or converting measurement units, you have to show the proportion. And then you can use a calculator. Does anybody have a calculator? Do 48 times 156 quick for me, please. Josh, you got it? 48 times 156.
7,488.
7,000.
Yeah.
488. Now, once I've cross multiplied here, can someone tell me why do I divide by 30?
Because you have to do the opposite.
Good. Because technically, I'm supposed to take 30 times x, right?
Yeah, but
You can't do it, but can I write it down?
yeah.
30x. I've said this before. Last unit, you learned how to solve these problems. How do I solve for x? You do the opposite operation. Do the inverse operation. So I just take 7,488 divided by 30, and I'll get my answer. What does x equal?
249.6.
249.6. What about my label?
Seconds.
We already found seconds.
No.
Words. Good, words. So you don't even have to show me. This is called a related equation. Okay, you don't even have to show me that. I'm not making you do that. You have to show me this. If you show me this and you bring your work up to me, I'll understand how you got your answer. Or if I see that you mixed something around, I'll understand why you missed it. Does that make sense? Okay, but this is the reasoning for why you would do the opposite operation to solve. So you cross, multiply, and divide. Okay, one last thing. If I have, let's start off very easy. A half is equal to 3/6. Is that proportional?
No.
Is a half equivalent to 3/6? Yeah, because 3 out of 6 is half. So we know that because 2 times what is 6?
3.
2 times 3 is 6. How about 1 times 3? Does that equal 3? Okay, good. That's one way you can tell. Okay, here's another way you can tell. Cross multiply. 1 times 6 is 6. Equals, just like we just did, right? Cross multiply. 2 times 3. What do you get? 6. Does 6 equal 6? Yes, it does. So that is proportional. Okay. Another example. What if I had 2/3 equivalent to 16/24? Is that equivalent? Is it proportional? How can we tell? What's 2 times 8? What's 3 times 8? 24. It works. What if I did 2 times 24?
That is
48 equals, what's 3 times 16? 48. So this is a proportion. What is a proportion?
2 ratios that are
Perfect. 2 ratios or rates that are equivalent to each other. I'm going to give you a non-example. Here's a non-example of a, so this would not be a proportion. Let's just keep it simple again. If I had a half and I said that it was equal to 6 elevenths. That's pretty obvious, right? Is 6 half of 11?
no.
No. 1 times 6 is 6. So 2 times 6 should equal what? Does it? No. So this is not proportional. Does that make sense? Okay. We can also check with cross multiplying. What's 1 times 11? 11. What's 2 times 6? Does that equal each other? No. So what are the 2 ways for checking to see if something's proportional? You can use cross products or you can use mental math. Okay? All right, good. Thanks, Jen.